Alright, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are here at Narita Airport in Tokyo, Japan, in Japan Airlines, and that made for tonight. And today we're doing a quick hop up to Sapporo, that is Romeo, Juliet, Charlie, Charlie. We are back in the experimental version of the A320 mod by Fly-by-Wire, because they have released a new OS for the Flypad that I wanted to check out. So we're going to brave any potential bugs with the VNAV implementation and just check it out, see how we do. And hopefully VATSIM will be kind to us tonight. I invite anyone who's watching on YouTube or Twitch to join us at Romeo Juliet Alpha Alpha. I'll be doing an accelerated pre-flight just to get us in the air for this relatively short hop. And this will likely be the last stream I do before I start across the pond prep for next Saturday. I'll be flying from Amsterdam to Boston. I'll be taking off around 11 a.m. Zulu time, and it should be a really good time. I have some surprises planned for that trip, and we'll be doing a few streams during the week just in preparation, doing some practice in the Heavy Division 787 mod. Alright, so with that, I think we are ready to hop inside. Just making sure I'm still connected to VATSIM. So I am, and oh yeah, you can see traffic in the air. Fantastic. All right. Oh, and there's a looks like a Jetstar VATSIM pilot over there. Okay, so everything looks good on here. Great. So let's hop inside and start our pre-flight. Here we are cold and dark. First, before we turn anything on, let's load the new OS. Take a look. Well, that was very quick. So already it's faster. Alright, we want to do raw data because we like to practice reading METARs. But before we get to that, let's connect the jet bridge. Here it comes. Let's connect external power and get baggage and catering. And that all seems to work as it normally does. Let's see if that door actually reaches us. That looks like it might be a bit far. No, it's... No, I don't think it's going to make it. Is it? Wow, well done. It actually made contact. Look at that. Great, so we'll explore more of this in a bit, but first let's get our batteries and power connected. Hey Cass, how's it going? No, we just started. You did not miss a damn thing. We're going to check out VNAV again tonight and take a look at the new Flypad OS. That's the plan. On a quick flight to Sapporo. Grab a beer. Alright, external power's on. Get the integrated lights up. Nav and logo. No smoking sign. Emergency exit lights. Seatbelt signs and pumps will stay off while we refuel. Crew supply on. Ground control on. And get those IRSs aligned. We'll do some quick fire tests. And some cargo smoke. And that's all solid. And we'll get the APU started. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, the weather looks great. We flew in here, I think it was last night, and the storms were nuts. Actually, the clouds are still kind of crazy too. But we have a lot more activity, a lot more, you can see kind of planes flying around the airport. And we have the premium scenery loaded. So it looks fantastic. So it should be a pretty fun departure today. Alright, the overhead looks good to me for now. So let's continue our cockpit prep. Come up to the FMC here, get to QNH, constraints come on. Turn off the flight director. Ooh, what is that noise? That's new. Alright, coming down here, landing gear is indicating down, lever is down, clock is correct, anti-skid is on, brake pressure is set, get the E-cams brightened up. And let's check, cockpit oxygen looks good, engine oil quantity looks good, hydraulic quantity looks good. And how's that APU doing? APU is available, so let's get the APU bleed on. And now we can start... Yeah, exactly. You remember. Yes, I'm famous for turning off absolutely everything when we're done. Save those pixels. Alright, come into the McDo. Let's get folks boarded. Get that request, get this brightened up a bit. 118 passengers tonight, not too full. And get that boarding going. What is that noise? No idea what that noise is. Alright, so that is going. Let's continue the rest of the cockpit prep. We're on Unicom right now because there's no ATC coverage in the area. Look at the integrated lights turned up. We'll squawk 7,000 until we're assigned something, if anything. Thrust levers are in the idle position. Engine mode is normal, engine masters are off, and spoilers are retracted, disarmed, flaps are up, rudder trim is reset, cockpit doors open, parking brake is set, and we are good with initial cockpit prep. And you can see there are new textures in the cockpit as well. They have added weathered textures all over the surfaces. It doesn't look like a new plane anymore, which is pretty cool. That looks fantastic. Now people really like some good wear and tear on their airplanes. Alright, hopping back over here to the OS. I see there's pushback options too. Interesting. We'll continue to use the pushback mod, but it's cool to know that is here. Oh, and here's where we put the fuel in. That's good to know. Alright, anyway. Coming back here, let's import some brief data. This looks really nice. So we have our routing here, which is pretty awesome. Don't need to go to the flight plan to see that anymore. And briefing our weather here in Tokyo. It's from 2 Zulu, so nice and recent. Winds calm, 50 at 5 knots. Winds variable between 10 and 80 degrees, good visibility, ceilings at 2000, 18 degrees, 13 dew points, and QNH 1003. Alright, let's get to the FMC and get our QNH dialed in. 1003. Alright. Oh, so we could pin charts? Interesting. We'll do that in just a sec. Let's actually look at the flight plan. Ah, yeah, Sapporo isn't too far, so I think we'll be in the air for about an hour and 15. And actually, that's what it says right here in the operating flight plan. So block time of an hour 45.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer,
but
and cabin crew,
in-air
I'd like
time
to
of
take
an
the
hour
time to
and
welcome you
16.
aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to see final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Alright, nice little briefing there. Alright, so we are Japan Air 9084. We're heading to Sapporo. Alternate is Romeo Juliet Charlie Mike. Constant index is 10, flight level 370. Triple pause is very high, and we have a nice tailwind of 30 knots. Very high shear rate at Tolek, so there will be turbulence. We'll see where in the flight that's expected. Expecting runway 34 left, and with the winds... that gives us a bit of a crosswind, but I don't think we have an option at this airport, so that's fine. Flight level 370, the Tetra came in like all... I don't see Tolek here, so it might be on one of the airways. Here's our fuel. Got a nice bump for the alternate. So I think we'll take that as filed because we have pretty much double what we need to get the alternate more than once. So that seems pretty good. So 5276. Where was fuel information? Was it over here? 5276. Where did we put it in? Over here. Ooh. What's that from? Why is that in pounds? Hold on, go to settings. That might be a bug. Huh, interesting. I'm going to assume that conversion is fine. So let's do that. All right. So that is fuel. So let's do our charts next. And there's some integrate chart information as well. So let's go to page. Let's do Navigraph. See if this works. RJ Alpha Alpha. Narita, yeah, they're coming in. So looking at taxi, we want to look at 20-9 for the airport. Pin that. Lovely. And for our SID, well, let's look at our plan here. Tetra 8. Tetra 8 for which runway? I already forgot. 34 left. Tetra 8 for 34 left. Here it is. Alright. Cool. So now if we come up here to the top page, there are our pin charts. That's so cool. Alright, so let's take a look at this real quick. Only problem is the screen is a little tight, but what if I do this? So cool. That's so good. That's such a good job. Oh, and they have the location information as well. Alright, so zoom on in. We're here at stand 91, and we're coming to runway 34 left, which is this runway here. So we'll let's take Tango all the way down. Cut over to Romeo. Actually, is there a better way there? Yeah, maybe Tango to Sierra 2, Sierra 2 to Kilo. Take Kilo down to Alpha, and then Alpha to Alpha 10. Very cool. It's a bit lower resolution, but I don't have to deal with Navigraph lag, which will be huge. Alright. And now let's look at our SID. Expand that, zoom out. So the Tetra 8 for 34 left. Climb heading through 37 at above 600 direct to Aries at above 4,000. So looking here, 34 left. 4,000 is our initial climb out. And then we kind of circle the airport. That's fun. Get a good look at the scenery. So let's come to the FMC, put in 4,000. And that is all good. Alright, so what else do we need from here? Yep, Unicom is set. We can connect to Hoppy, which is pretty cool. These are failures. And oh, checklists. Fantastic. This will be great. This will be great because I have a paper checklist, but now I can reference this and you guys can follow along, which is fantastic. All right. So let's check in. We know boarding is complete. Fueling is complete. So let's go ahead and turn those fuel pumps on. And turn the seatbelt sign on. Set strobes to auto. Alright, and at this point, let us connect the tug and go through some checklists. So we'll use this latest pushback mod. They have this pushback planner, which is awesome. It allows you to have a hands-free pushback, and the taxiways are rendered so nicely. So just turn this, and we want to be nice and straight in that center line as we push back at 9.1. Click, enter, and done. Alright, let's request pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
And we'll come off external power at this point. There goes the jetway. We'll do cockpit preparation checklist. So gears and PIDs covers are being removed right now. Fuel quantity is set. Seatbelts on. Does this work? Yes. Seatbelts are on. IRSs are on nav. Oh, but you know what? I definitely jumped the gun. We haven't set up the box yet. So hold on. Cancel plan pushback.
Ground, please cancel pushback operation.
Roger. Pushback canceled.
Sorry guys. Let's hop to the box. Alright, so starting with data, IRSs are on nav. We have actually checked that now. AC status. Yeah, main thread add, it is not. I definitely forgot that. So LEAP engines, latest air rack is loaded. Heading to init A. And we are going from Tokyo to Sapporo, so that's perfect. Romeo Juliet Charlie Mike, Japan Air 9084. New EFB is awesome. The little updates they've made have been really nice. Like even like we're doing checklists and you guys can follow along. Like that's just so cool. And good to see you, Ivan. I tried to give you advance warning that I was flying tonight, by the way. I started the stream about 45 minutes ago with instructions on how to join me. So apologies if you were able to fly tonight and miss the preview. Alright. So triple pause, that is lower than what our flight plan says. So let's get 50915. And cruise, that looks good. 370. Alright. Heading to flight plan. Let's get our departure in. 34 left. And where is it? Tetra 8. Oh, transition. Good question. Let's look at the chart. Oh, I see. So it'll be our first fix on the actual flight plan, which is Kimin. Insert. See if that synced correctly. Yep, Kimin's there. We have some VNAV values there as well. And let's check on the McDo that looks good to us. Sorry, on the ND that looks good. Alright, already it kind of looks like, yeah, that looks perfect to do a nice little loop-to-loop around the airport and then go along the rest of our merry way to Kimin and then on our way to Sapporo eventually. All the way north. There we go, and we'll do our descent once we're airborne. Okay, that's all good. Alright, radnavs. I did not notice any. Let's just double check. Now these are all GPS fixes from what I could tell for our particular departure. So that's fine. We won't program in any radnavs, and we won't do emergency procedures tonight either because it's already late. Alright, so heading to init B. Weights 54.8. Does that match our flight plan? Zero fuel weight. It's available right here. It's awesome. We don't even have to go into the OFP. And that matches nicely as well. Block fuel, we have 5.3. Now, is the OFB now smart enough to tell us our average wind It is, although it doesn't tell you if it's a head or tailwind or what that vector is. So we'll just go back to the OFP for that. Trip wind is tailwind of 30 knots. Alright, let's get the rest of our fuel values in there for the fuel calculations. So 0.5, 1.3, and 0.8. 0.5, 1.3, and 0.8, and that leaves us with exactly not enough fuel. Like I said, the trip is a bit higher. Interesting, and it looks like it's accounting for minimum destination fuel on board. So it wants us to have that when we arrive. So I'm not really sure how to interpret that. So maybe we should take a little extra fuel, but again, we're not going to use our alternate. So I'm going to bookmark this as something we'll get to later. But let's see. If FOD is maybe fuel on destination 2.6. Alright, we'll just keep an eye on this and see how we fare. But we do have the right fuel on board for what SimBrief is telling us. Alright, so next up, performance. I'm feeling just a little bit lazy tonight, but we can do performance calcs if you guys want to. Next week, EasyJet SimPilot is releasing his calculator, which I'm really looking forward to, which will make this a lot more accurate. So I think for now, let's just approximate our trim, so 24.9. And that would give us a trim of what? Up 0.8, so we're going to do flaps 1 tonight, up 0.8. And what the hell, let's do the flex attempt calc. I feel bad not doing it, because we definitely have long runways here. Alright, so let's go back to our airport chart to get runway information. So runway heading is 337. Elevation is 135, let's say. Length in meters is 4,000. Runway is dry. Winds are 5 at 5 knots. Outside air temperature is 18 degrees. QNH is 1003. And takeoff weight is called 60 tons. And we'll have the packs off. So we do have flex information here, so it's calculating 67 degrees. Be right back. Alright, I am back. Sorry for that interruption, everyone. I also realized that my camera's not on, so you guys can't see how I've been emoting. Give me one sec here. I've been playing around with my OBS, getting ready for Across the Pond next week, and I made more of a mess of things than I anticipated. So I'm going to try to add it live. It's going to look weird. Let's see if I can make it work. Alright, let's get that back to where I like it. Bear with me, I'm gonna this is so embarrassing. I like to adjust this all before I even start, but I think we've got it just about there. Alright, hello everyone, good to see you. Okay. Yeah, seriously. This is why your flights are delayed. Flex temp, we're saying 67 degrees. Transition altitude 14,000. I believe that's correct. If we look at our chart again. Oh, wrong chart. Still need to learn how to navigate this, but I am absolutely loving this new format. It's so fast too, which is great. 14,000, that is correct. And V-speed's the most important part. So decision speed tonight is 145, 146 for rotation, and V2 147. Alright, McDo is set up now, friends. We are ready for our pushback. So let's call that tug. We'll have to plan this again. Good thing it's nice and easy the way they designed it. And request.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Alright, bow ref is set. Cockpit preparation complete. So before start checklist. This is a bit shorter than what I'm used to. But parking brake is set. Takeoff speeds and thrust are set. Windows are closed. Beacon can come on. Let's compare it to the checklist I normally use.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
So before start also has fuel message, signs, IRS's fuel quantity. Okay. Oh, I see, I see. So
The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
So cockpit prep is basically the to-the-line checklist, and before start is the below-the-line, from what I normally do.
You're cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start.
Close that
Please
door.
release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Alright, set to ignition, engine to start, confirm, bleeds are on. Yeah, there was a bunch of traffic at Narita right before I signed on. And I was hearing chatter as I was like getting things prepped behind the scenes. I was listening to airplanes coming in. But now, they're all gone. So I guess it was just a timing issue. That, or maybe people are getting well-deserved rest before across the pond. Alright, let's just monitor this startup here. Those fuel pumps are on, okay. Yeah. So I got in the lottery, which is awesome, and I was assigned, well, I wasn't assigned, I had a great pick. I was able to choose my routing on the first day, so I had my pick of pretty much everything. And I chose an 11 Zulu departure out of Amsterdam to Boston. So not too long, a good distance away from oceanic territory, engine 1 start, and a beautiful airport to leave from. It's a really cool You should check out the airport chart for Amsterdam. It's going to be a fun departure. What I need to figure out
Okay,
is...
pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
So what I need to figure out is what livery I'm going to fly, what call
Ground.
sign.
Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger.
One sec.
Good engine start. Clear to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
So yeah, so flying out of Amsterdam, like, everyone's going to be flying KLM. Or Delta, because the real world routing is either KLM or Delta. But I have a feeling fewer people will be flying Delta, but I need help making a decision on what airline to fly next week. I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be KLM. That might just be really annoying. But maybe everyone has that idea, and no one will be KLM. I don't know. But what do you guys think? What would be a good call sign for next week? Martin Air, I've never heard of that. Is that real? Oh, it is a real airline. That's fun. That is fun. Alright, 2 good engine starts. Going back to engine mode normal, we can get the APU bleed and APU shut down and get ourselves ready for taxi. Let's do our after start checklist. Anti-ice is not needed. ECAM status is checked. Pitch trim. We may come up to 0.8. And while we're here, let's do flight control. SAS. That's also a good one. Pan Am. I've actually been on a Pan Am flight. Believe it or not, my family's originally from South Africa, and as a 2-year-old, I think I flew Pan Am to Brussels to Johannesburg. Full left, full right, center, full down, full up, center, full left, full right, and center. Looks good. Back to our checklist, because this is fun. Pitch trim is set. Rudder trim is neutral. Just confirm. Yes, it is. Alright, let's check out the taxi checklist. I don't have an explicit taxi checklist. But yeah, flight controls are set. Flap settings, go to flap 1. So flaps are set. And we'll do the rest of that as we're moving. Let's go ahead and just rebrief our routing to the runway. What did I help you remember? Or what did Ivan help you remember, Cass? Very curious now. Alright, Tango to Sierra 2 to Kilo. Alright, let's roll, folks. I do find with the latest updates, we roll a lot easier at neutral. Sorry, at idle. So I wonder if that's a rebalancing, because I do believe the aircraft does get some thrust at idle. So if you release a parking brake, you will start to move. Arm the spoilers. Yeah, like, and I still remember when Pan Am had the MetLife Tower in Manhattan above Grand Central. I still have distinct memories of that building. I feel like I'm dating myself now. The gray hair is probably a dead giveaway. Nice. That is awesome. Pan Am modeling. Let's follow Tango. That's Tango 10. I think we just stay on this. Actually, let's cross over. I'm going to improvise here a little bit since ATC is not around to tell us what to do. And this gets us on Sierra, it looks like. So it's actually, you know, it'd be really actually cool to know how you guys got into aviation. So Cass, I'm guessing it was your dad. But how did you guys get interested in this in the first place? And have any of you actually made it a thing? Oh, Tiller's freaking out. Sorry, hold on. This Thrustmaster joystick is a POS, I swear to God. That was nearly a massive fail. Yeah, have any of you guys actually made this into a thing? Do you guys have your PPLs? For me, if anyone's interested, I've kind of always been into aviation, but there's no like one thing that got me really into it. I started playing with flight sims in like the late 90s, just as I was getting into high school. And then I took a break from it. But I think in my mid-20s, I got the bug again, and I'm like, I'm starting to make some money now. I could probably afford to actually get lessons. Sorry, hold on. Let's see what taxiway we're at here. I don't want to get lost. I'll tell my life history in a second. Okay. I see. Let's go to Sierra 3 to Kilo. Or we can make a left here and go to Kilo. Let's do that. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. But yeah, when I got into my 20s, started making some money, and I'm like, and I was thinking about going to business school. So I said to myself, if I didn't get into my top business school choices, then I would use the money I'd saved by not going back to grad school to get my license. But I got into business school, and that is why I'm sitting here still without a PPL. I do have an MBA, which is nice. It's helpful. But I do not have a PPL. Yeah, it's definitely... I put aviation in the category of like the dream of becoming an astronaut. I feel like it's like in that category of thing. Where are we going, by the way? Oh, Kilo. Okay, cool. I'll just follow Kilo. But unlike becoming an astronaut, aviation is actually far more achievable. Alright, this stick is really bothering me now, so I'm just going to go into my controls real quick and see what's going on here. Apologies. Wow! Sorry, I'll be with you in a sec, but what I just read was really awesome. Alright, I think it's just got to clean the contacts a bit. Alright. Wow, St. Petersburg to Moscow. That is absolutely awesome. Yeah, speaking of a tour, let's actually take a quick look around. So a lot of those planes, I have ground traffic turned completely off, but I think those are just like stock with the scenery. I don't think there's a way to get rid of them. Well, I'm glad you're bonding with your kids over flying in some way. That's fantastic. All right, where are we turning? Alpha. Alpha. Okay, and here's Alpha coming up. Once we turn to Alpha, we'll do the rest of our before takeoff checklist to the line. Slow down a bit on this turn. Passengers are like, what the F is going on up there? Alright, so notify the cabin. Takeoff config. Weather come on. And coming back to our checklist here. Radar is turned on, engine mode set to normal, ECAM memo, land, takeoff no blue. Alright, great. Next we'll do lineup. These checklists are great. They're absolutely fantastic. I think that's my favorite part of this new EFB. Alright, Alpha 9. Is there an Alpha 10? I think there was an Alpha 10. Yep, Alpha 10. So next right. Yeah, my kids are still pretty young, but I'm hoping if I do actually go for my PPL, hope to inspire them by watching me kind of go through that process. Alright, but once I'm in the air, I'm going to get real with you guys on something, and I'd love to get your opinion. But since we're right at our runway, I'm just going to take a break and make sure we're all good to get going. So, pausing here. And let's do our lineup checklist. The takeoff runway is confirmed. I saw the sign just now. TCAS can come on. TARA, and get A2CDUS on. Let's get our lights ready. Landing lights set to takeoff. Strobes can come on permanently. And packs can come off.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
For our flex. Mark item is complete. And great, now we're on to approach. So we are set for takeoff. Let's do our radio call. Make sure we're still on VATSIM. Narita traffic, Japan Air 9084, taking off runway 34 left, Narita traffic. Alright. Get down below 10 knots for this turn. Time it right in that first part of the window, and we initiate the turn now. If I did that correctly, we should line up almost perfectly. Ah, that's not too bad. Take off. Set thrust to 50%. Thrust coming up stable. Flex. Man flex SRS runway. Knots, easing back on the stick there. That crosswind a little bit. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Lovely. Get those packs back on. And get down to thrust climb. Accelerating now to S speed. There's VNAV working. We see our initial top of climb just ahead of us, about 2.5 miles. Speed checked, flaps up. Ground spoilers disarmed. Put those nose lights off. And let's activate the autopilot now that we're approaching our initial climb out. So let's try VNAV departure, shall we? Let's remind ourselves what our cruise altitude is, 370. And let's set that in the FMC. And manage climb. So we do have our next upper constraint of 7,000. Let's check the SID to see if that is correct. And that is correct. Our first ceiling restriction is 7,000. Once we pass that, we should be unrestricted all the rest of the way. Put the chrono on. Take a look. Our departure here. Lovely. Alright, so I promised a getting real moment. If you guys are game for it. So, I have a family, married, whole deal. Is getting into a GA aircraft and going for my PPL irresponsible as someone with young kids? Like, that's the question. Like, I think about that all the time. Like, it is not a safe thing to do. It's more dangerous than driving. It's more dangerous than flying commercial, for sure. Yeah, I've seen some people compare it to, like, rock climbing, right? Like it is not a riskless thing. So is it irresponsible to go for it? Even though there are tons of dads out there that fly their families all over the place in GA aircraft, but it's, I don't know, it's a, I don't know how to rationalize that risk. And I promise that will be the realest I get on this flight. Beyond that, we're just going to have a good time. Yeah, no, honestly, like getting a pilot's license is like getting a motorcycle. It's the same category of thing, right? Like, I do believe that if you're really dedicated to being an incredibly safe pilot, and that you're not there to get your PPL, you're there to be safe enough to deserve a PPL, like that kind of frame of mind, then I think you could be a safe pilot for life. But yeah, I mean that is a good point. That is a good point. Like, every time I get my kids in the car and drive them to school, like, I'm exposing them to more risk than they were exposed to by being home. But I'm not going to keep them home, right? That's pretty. That is really pretty. Yeah. Main thread, also a very good point. Oh wait, did we pass that 7,000 waypoint? I think we did. And now we're flying unrestricted to 37,000. Yeah, so great. So VNAV worked on departure. And that dot must be when we're expected to hit 10,000 feet, which is when we'll get to the next speed restriction. This climb rate is bonkers, by the way. Oh yeah, this is. I mean, you're Cass. You're saying you're like aware of the danger. If I'm reading that correctly. So like one way I'm thinking about getting around that is by, even though it's going to be significantly more expensive, but splurging to train in a Cirrus. I know people have very polarizing views over the value of that parachute. But again, in the hands of a safe pilot that is prepared to use it when they need to use it, I have to believe it reduces the danger. Even if the raw statistics don't necessarily tell that story. And they're also newer planes. I guess that's also the danger though, right? It's a double-edged sword. It's a newer plane built more recently, but it's also only existed for like 20 years, whereas like the Cessna 172, we know all the quirks. We know everything that could possibly go wrong. It's been around for decades. So we literally know everything about what can happen to that plane, even as it ages. We don't have that for the Cirrus, not yet. Again, thank you guys for your insight. It's appreciated. Alright, we are well past 10,000 feet, so let's get those landing lights off. And get those constraints to airports. And QNH, we're past the transition, so there we go. Let's see. Alright, so in about 15 miles we'll be over the airport again. Let's see if we can get a nice aerial view. Hopefully there's a break in the clouds. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and unpin some of these charts. Now, do they make unpinning easy? Or do I have to go find them and unpin them? Let's see. Ah, well that is an enhancement I would request. You have to kind of go back to the menus and find the chart to unpin it. Oh, there it is. Oh wait, what if I go here? Oh, interesting. Not local, Navigraph. All. Ah, not even, oh, edit. Delete, okay. So there is a way to do it. There is a way to do it. Let's see, oh yeah, we may be able to see the airport, but we're going to be pretty high. Ah, nice golf course. We've been seeing, oh, and another golf course. We've been seeing a ton of golf courses flying over Japan. Another one, another one, another one. I was about to suggest playing a drinking game where every time we spot a golf course from the air, we take a shot. But considering I can see 6 right now, I don't want to kill you guys. Oh, there's Narita. I can see our stand from here. There it is. those clouds. That would be a nice screenshot. Oh, especially on a turn. Come on. Oh, there's some of it down there. Click. That might be a fun screen grab for the next stream. Oh, here's another one even. And golf course. Oh man. I didn't realize golf was so big in Japan. I'm inferring it's big. I don't know if it's actually big. I mean, there just seems to be so many. Thanks, Ivan. Alright. But aside from looking in the gaps in the clouds, again, I know we talk about every stream, but the clouds are just so nice. So nicely done. So we'll get to cruise pretty quick, and once we do, we'll do our initial descent prep. We'll calculate, tonight we'll do something different. So last time we trusted the VNAV for descent, and that was a bad idea. Yeah, thanks, Cass, definitely. Oh, well, I'm reading between the lines here. You're going to Tokyo next year. That's awesome. Pleasure or business? That's the worst question ever. I apologize. So annoying. But yeah, so when we get to cruise, we'll do preliminary descent prep. Last time we trusted the top of descent calculation, the VNAV, and it kind of screwed us a little bit. It wasn't exactly perfect, and if you read the release notes, fly-by-wire tells us it's not perfect. But, I mean, again, they've done an amazing job, so you really can't fault them for that. But we'll also calculate our own top of descent the way we normally do with the fixes page and the OFB calculator, and we'll just compare it. We'll see how it looks different, how off it is. Vertical horizon, let's see. Pitched up about, what is that, like 4 degrees? Is that what you want to look at, Cass? Blame Disneyland. Is that because... is that Epcot? Or am I not understanding why I should blame Disneyland? Oh, got it. Yeah, so we'll be at cruise. Let's give it like 5 minutes, because that climb rate is going to keep dropping as we get into thinner air. Got a hell of a crosswind right now. Oh, look at this. Again, VNAV at work. We'll be at, well, was estimating our top of climb at Kimmin. Yeah, there it is. There's that blue line. And then I guess we'll get to climb speed at that pink dot. Or cruise speed, rather. Let's see. Be indicated speed of 290. So before the stream tonight, I was kind of on the fence, like, should I do a stream or should I actually study for Cross the Pond? Because earlier today, the Cross the Pond team hosted a webinar that walked through European ATC procedures, North American ATC procedures, and the differences between the two, which is really cool, and oceanic procedures. I got through half of it, but man, I thought I knew a lot about the nuances between North American ATC and European, but it was just super helpful, especially if you're a VATSIM flyer. So definitely check out the webinar is posted on YouTube. I think if you just search for like VATSIM Across the Pond, it will probably come up. But they live streamed it about 6 hours ago. It's a really good resource. Oh, that's fantastic, Cass. So there is a Disney park in Japan. I vaguely knew that, I think. I'm planning to take my family to Disney World, I think in 2024, once my youngest turns 5. I think that'll be a good age for him to like really appreciate it. But actually would love your advice. Like when is a good time to take your kid for the first time? Oh, look at that bumpiness there. Oh, wow. I believe it. All right. Yeah, actually, I'm surprised. The climb rate actually got better, but I wonder if that's because the tailwind became more of a crosswind. Oh, but then with that turbulence, it's kind of throwing us all over the place a little bit. Yeah, but it looks like we will get to top of descent right at Kimmin. That's cool. Got it. Okay, good. Yeah, yeah. So not too far from what I was thinking with 5 years old. We'll see. We'll see how. We'll probably have to wait till 6. But he's everything at Disney is based on height, right? If it's based on height, he's a tall guy. Yeah, I've been curious. Can you confirm it's windy in Sapporo because you're actually there? Or are you flying there, or do you just check the METAR? Because I don't want to be that streamer that asks like where everyone is from or where they are, but like I'm curious by that comment. Can confirm. Is that from empirical evidence? Got it. Nice. Are you on VATSIM right now, Ivan? Are you November 8965?
Keep elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin and the galley cart shortly.
Yeah, Diamond 40?
And congregating to the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Well, I'm excited we at least get to fly together, kind of, tonight. Because I will be there soon. Okay, we're at top of climb. So let's go ahead and take a look at our approach here. So looking at the flight plan, we're expecting runway 1 right, and looking at the winds, that looks fine for Sapporo. So we'll assume that this approach is good to go. So let's take a look at the YOTIS chart. Oh, I guess I can. Oh, I could just click 2, and I can just click alternate, and it just preloads. Okay, that's cool. So star. Why can I never remember the name of the star? YOTIS? Oh, YOT South. That makes sense. Nice. So pro reconnaissance. If you see the brewery, let me know. Alright, so we're coming in from Naver to Yote, which has a very low minimum. Alright, so let's plan to get to 2,000 by Yote. Alright, so let's go to our flight plan, fixes Yote, and let's calculate, okay, from this to 2,000, 110 nautical miles, so 110, radius. And now let's see. Okay, cool. So, I don't know if it just... Oh, well, you know what? We haven't programmed in our arrival yet, so the top of descent is before our calculated one. But let's go ahead and program our arrival and see how it changes. So, okay, let's figure out what ILS we want. So, one right. So Yankee or Zulu. Let's see the difference here. It's Bambi. They both start at Bambi. They're both at 2,000 feet. Oh no, well this was at 3,000 feet actually. So you start your descent a bit earlier. Yeah, so 6 miles from Bambi versus 9 miles from Bambi. So let's start that final descent further out. I think that will work better for a plane like ours. So we'll do the Yankee approach, and we should calculate 3,000 instead of 2,000. It's 107, that's fine. We'll keep it 110 miles. Okay. So, ILS Yankee. Oh, and sorry, which runway 1 left? But we're doing 1 right, so I take that back. Sorry. Uncheck that. 1 right, here we go. Let's take a look. Probably be similar. Oh, Yote, right. Yote, so that's 3,000 versus 2,000, same deal. So we'll do Yankee for 1 right. 1 right Yankee, there we go. And Yote South, no vias, inserts. Hey Mo Daddy, how's it going? Good to see you tonight. We've been having some deep conversations. Okay, so check this out. It has our top of descent just after our estimated one. So for this particular arrival, it seems to be, you know, pretty close. Pretty close. So we'll still descend at the radius, but we'll know that this top of descent from the VNAV makes the most sense if we do get down a little early. This is the version of the VNAV. You are looking at VNAV right now, whether you know it or not. Let's try to get actually a closer look. So I'm going to go to flight plan. It's good. I mean, we're having a better experience so far tonight than the last time we tried VNAV. The last time we tried VNAV, I got scared off because not all the approaches were showing up in the McDo. But I think that was more an issue with the airport and less to do with the VNAV. So we were flying into Seoul when we were having that issue. But tonight, I mean, I just programmed our approach and everything seemed to be there. Let's flip through real quick and check out how VNAV is manifesting now that we're in cruise. Okay, so here we go. So this blue line is the radius. That's what we normally have been calculating to simulate a top of descent. And then this little white arrow that's pointing downward, that is our calculated top of descent from the VNAV system. How cool is that? So we should start descent no later than that point. So, good stuff. And MoDaddy, this is also the version with the new FB OS, and it is fantastic. Like, it is worth dealing with any VNAV bugs just to have this. I've been loving this. And it's basically going to replace the in-game Navigraph integration, which just kills frame rate every time you try to load it. But like, just expand this, and this is everything you need. Like, right here. And you kind of go to your home page, you can pin charts that you want to reference easily. You have your METAR, you have your flight plan. It's just, they've done such a good job. Ooh, what's this? And you can customize it. Oh, that's sick. I'm moving checklists up, because we have integrated checklists, and the next one up is approach. Oh, let's go back. We didn't mark this complete. There we go. So integrated checklists. It's another amazing thing. All right. Jeez, look at that crosswind. Holy crap. It's an 18-degree deflection. It's madness. Alright, one thing we haven't checked is our estimated arrival time, 4:15 Zulu. So we'll finish the descent prep in about 12 minutes, so we can get the most recent weather. Wait, no, hold on, I'm doing my math wrong. I like to do it 40 minutes before, so that would be now. Alright. So that's brief. First, let's check VATSIM. Wishful thinking that we would have ATC online. Yep, no one's online. Although I do see Ivan flying around Sapporo, doing a little bit of a coastal track. Good old Diamond 40. It's a beautiful aircraft. Alright, yes, weather, METAR. So it's here. So for Sapporo, this is from 3 Zulu, which is about 35 minutes old. Winds 2 at 4 knots. I'll just go ahead and write this down. Yes. Alright, so winds are 2 at 4. Variable between 340 and 60. Good visibility, pretty high ceilings, 8 degrees to dew point, QNH 1000. Remarks: moderate turbulence observed at 2:30 Zulu at Omar. Flight level 370 in descending Boeing 763. Is that right? Is that how I read that? Anyway, we know from Ivan it's bumpy because he's there right now. Alright, great. So let's get that into the box. QNH 1000. Temperature is 8 degrees. Winds are 2 at 4. I did not write that down correctly, did I? 20 at 4. Transition level is 14,000. Let's confirm that on our charts. Transition level 14,000, yep. And minimums. So we're Cat C, ILS, straight in landing, 200 on the radio mins. And let's see. Let's think about a configuration 3 landing. If we're thinking it might be turbulent, I forget. We could talk through this, and you guys let me know if this makes sense. But flap 3 landing, it increases your approach speed, but it reduces the drag on your airframe. And my assumption, let me know if you think this is wrong, but my assumption is less drag means less impact from turbulence. So that would be my justification for doing a flap 3. Oh, hey, Cass. Welcome back. So flap 3 might be better if we're anticipating turbulence on approach. That's the assumption. I have no idea if that's true. But let's see, it's a 3-kilometer runway. And we are doing one right, yeah. Are we? No, we're doing one right. So let's check out, let's see if they've updated the landing calculator. So RJCC, fill form Mentor. Cool. Oh, and we can do it from the OFP as well. That's a nice new feature. We do have to put in the rest ourselves. So altitude, let's call it 67. Runway heading 2. Dry conditions, runway slope, we'll call it 0. Length in meters, 3,000. And estimated approach speed is 125. And calculate. Oh, and sorry, flaps 3, reverse thrust, yes. Auto land, no. Yeah. Let's do the flap 3, folks. So configuration 3 in the McDo increases our approach speed to 135. So let's actually just account for that, make sure it's still good. Yeah, totally fine. And up above, override the alerts for flap 3 on the GPWS. Alright, looking at our top of descents. Coming up in about 130 miles. And let's get RJCC 01 right. Is that the right syntax? Yes. Great. Yeah, definitely a longer rollout on the flap 3, for sure. Less drag, higher approach speed, all that good stuff. Different sight picture as well. And I think that's been partially messing up my landings because the view out the window looks different. But I'm trying to do my best to scan both the sight picture and the vertical speed tape here. I noticed on the last landing where almost buttered it, but ended up floating a little bit, is because I allowed the descent rate to go positive. Just a smidge. Take a look outside. Wow, okay. I did not realize there was still snow. That's cool. That is pretty sick. Oh, is it snowy up at Sapporo as well, Ivan? nuts. Let's check something else out. So if we go back to our OFP, and we go all the way to the bottom here, we'll get a vertical profile map. I've been really enjoying looking at this lately. Where are we at the moment? We're inbound Tolek. There's Tolek here. And kind of close to there were some high peaks we passed already, but the highest elevation is still ahead of us. You know, I did just notice this is probably the worst frame rate we've gotten in the cockpit, and it might just be the new updates. My overclocks are still running pretty well. Alright. I'm going to shut down Chrome as well, see if that helps. Cass, I'm just seeing your comment right now. Yeah, clearly I had Chrome running. Hopefully that wasn't... that didn't show on the stream, did it? Shouldn't have. Now I'm all paranoid. No, it didn't. Yeah, Chrome is the worst. And okay, it looks like... Oh, you know, I can't really say definitively if that improved things or not. I might have gotten a couple of extra frames from it. I mean, Chrome is a RAM hog, ultimately, right? But I have 32 gigs of pretty fast RAM in this machine, and I'm not using anywhere near full capacity. Man, but it's been really rough flying over Japan lately. The turbulence has just been killer. All right. Well, let's finish briefing this approach because we haven't actually done a full brief. So this is like a really simple star, but coming at Naver, there is a whole point there. We're not going to need it. Down to Yote, straight into the runway. There is a VOR here, Charlie Hotel Echo. So let's get that into the box. First one there, and let's flip on VOR, start tracking it. A little too far away at the moment, but that's fine. We'll pick it up when we're close enough. And that's it for rad navs. Let's go to our approach chart. No, this will be the only flight we do today, because it's approaching midnight where I live, and I should sleep. But the next stream we're probably going to do is Tuesday night, and that will not be a part of the round the world trip. Tuesday we're going to do departure practice for across the pond. So we're going to do like a short test flight from Amsterdam to maybe somewhere in the UK, just to get familiar with the airport and the departure procedures for Amsterdam. And then I think Thursday we're going to do approach practice for Boston. So we're going to fly from, I don't know, maybe somewhere north of Boston, let's say Vancouver to Boston. Sorry, not Vancouver, Montreal to Boston, and practice some of the approaches, just get familiar with Boston on the inbound side. And then of course Saturday will be the biggie. It will be the 8-hour across the pond stream starting at probably 6:30 in the morning Eastern time. So I'll be getting up early for that one. And then I'll probably take a sim vacation for maybe a week, and then we'll resume our around the world journey in the 320. That answered questions you didn't even ask, but that was a good time to advertise that. Alright. So the approach is pretty straightforward. Final approach fix at Yode. Let's look at the misapproach procedure here. Climb 600 on heading 2, that's runway heading. Turn right inbound via the Mike Kilo Echo VOR and hold at 5,000. So let's get Mike Kilo Echo in. VOR 2. And let's add it as a fix as well. Why not? Oh wait, hold on. I have to choose the appropriate one. Mike Kilo Echo. And then that VOR is on, and let's go back to our fixes page. Put it in as fix 2, Mike Kilo Echo. I won't worry about the radial. It'll just be points on our nav page. Yeah, seriously. So, that and my new boss will be in town, so I'll be, oh my god, that turbulence, man. So it'll be a heavy work week as well. Alright. What's nice about these short flights, there isn't a lot of opportunity for dead air. So the next 60 miles will likely be the most boring of the remainder of our flight, unless this turbulence decides to completely overstress our aircraft and have us drop from the air. But interesting. That bank was very interesting. We were expecting a max shear rate of like 8 point something, which is the highest I've seen on this trip. Let's look at the OFP again. Looking for the section where they show the shear rate by waypoint. Here we go. So Leckel and Sambo, I think that's right about where we are. They're just past Leckel, we're going to pass Sambo. And after that it should start to abate, but this is pretty near the worst of it. Oh boy. That was real bad. Getting past the snow level here. There's more snow ahead. I'm sure this is not how it looks in real life, but it would be pretty cool if it did. So on our around the world journey, we started in very cold conditions because we had to fly up through Canada to get over to Europe if we're doing 2-hour hops at a time. But then pretty much since we left Europe, we've been in tropical climates. Yeah, no, seriously, famous last words. Oh yeah, this is going to be the most boring part of the flight. Blah. Listing, bumping, look at this. Oh, Daddy F. Why is your flight sim completely broken? I'm trying to resist every urge in my body to be that IT guy that says, have you tried a clean install? So I will not do that to you. Yeah, seriously, Ivan. Yeah, Cass. So we're doing point-to-point flights. So when we left Shanghai, we flew to Seoul. Then we did Seoul to Narita, and now Narita to Sapporo. So I've been doing an around-the-world journey, about 55 planned flights of about 2 hours at a time. And this is flight, I think, 43. It's all archived on YouTube, but Twitch only keeps so much history. But yeah, I have not cheated. I have not skipped destinations. We've always done point to point. So where I'm landing tonight is where I'll take off from the next time. It's been fun. Yeah, it's true. On the physics point, when they had that really horrible live weather bug a couple months back, you basically just started falling out of the sky, and you'd know it was the weather bug because you'd see the temperatures just start fluctuating like crazy, and that's just not realistic. Even after a reinstall modality, you can't get in. Yeah, Cass, I've been flying more than I expected I would. Normally, I anticipate only getting in like 1 or 2 flights a week, but last week was a particularly uneventful one. You haven't missed much. We still haven't had a ton of ATC coverage, even though we're flying on the weekend at this point. But once we get back to the States, since I fly East Coast evenings, we should get pretty consistent ATC coverage for like the last 7 legs, I'd say. So the radios have been real lonely. Yeah. And my whole life has been like revolving around preparing for cross the pond. My wife hates it. She's very supportive, but I'm sure it's annoying. Alright, we're getting real close to our top of descent, folks. We are picking up both VORs now. Let's get our descent programmed into the McDo. Going down to 3,000. So we're really not going to need VNAV on the way down, since we're not going to be going through any restrictions. And we're not doing an RNAV approach, we're doing ILS. Which probably is the safe bet while it's still in the experimental build. But we'll do managed descent anyway, just to see how it reacts. Alright. To folks watching on YouTube, welcome. The party's usually on Twitch, but we have quite a few folks watching on YouTube tonight, so thanks for tuning in. Alright, managed descent, and that squiggly line is an estimate from the VNAV system estimating when we'll be back on the descent path. So we want to be back on the descent path. We don't want to see the squiggly line. And these magenta lines are, I believe it's just like the bounds within which it's going to maintain our speed on the vertical profile. So,
deck, ladies and gentlemen, as we have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for a ride.
So if we're too high, we'll get to the faster end of the, or allow itself to get to the faster end of the magenta range, I think, to descend faster. But the VNAV will kind of keep us in this band. But Cass, to your question, the only reason I really stream on YouTube is to archive my videos. Because I think on Twitch, the streams auto-delete after 2 weeks. Maybe that changes when you become affiliate. And to that point, if you guys haven't followed yet, please follow, because I'm getting close to affiliate. But yeah, I use YouTube mostly just to archive all the flights that I've done. So all 43 of the flights that I've done so far are over on YouTube. Cass, was that supposed to be a command that did something? Exclamation point socials. I'm still learning the nuances of Twitch there. Yeah, no, I'm starting to explore getting like chat more automated. But I keep it nice and easy. My handle is the same. I do have an Instagram account at Mike November Whiskey. Yeah, if you have any suggestions for setting up the commands, I do have some technical knowledge. I just haven't looked into chat on Twitch so much yet. It's on my list of things. But for now, what is exclamation point social supposed to do? Is it just supposed to like kind of auto post my socials information? All the channels that I'm on and such. Let's zoom out real quick. I want to see, it should also predict when we get to our desired altitude, I think. Hey Aaron, welcome to the channel. Possible to connect yoke, gas controller, pedals, and mouse on Xbox Series X. I am not sure. We are flying on a PC, and I have not owned a console for over 2 years, so couldn't really say. But if anyone else in the channel knows the answer, please feel free to help Aaron out. Oh, that's a great command. Okay. I'll definitely have that set up for Cross the Pond. I post pretty pictures on Instagram. It's nice. Lots of fake flying photos. Oh, thanks, Cass, for answering that question. Appreciate it. So it looks like we're off the descent path. And I think, we're going through some turbulence clearly, but I think it's trying to accelerate the aircraft to catch up. Also, now that we are, we've kind of cleared ourselves to below transition level, let's go ahead and put in local QNH, which is still at 1,000. So get out of standard and adjust to 1,000. Oop. Bit of a lag there on my controls. There we go. And is that... I think that might be where Ivan is right now, that kind of snowy wasteland in the distance. Oh, Ivan, hang in there, man. We're on our way. Yeah, according to VATSIM, he's in the DA60. But to the viewers I've tuned in recently, our friend Ivan is flying around where we're approaching. So I'm hoping to get a visual on him when we get there. I'm going to start Chrome again. I apologize for any frame rate hits you might see. Yokota Approach is online, so ATC is waking up in Japan. But yeah, no, Ivan is still flying around. How's your fuel, guy? Are you gonna make it? We'll be there soon. Let me get my TCAS set to below, and maybe we'll get you on the TCAS. Well, I hope you've been enjoying your flight. Alright, let's get those constraints on. There's our... Oh, because we're flying the ILS Yankee, it does have a restriction at 3,000. And we've got like 50 miles to go before we hit there, so should be no problem getting down to 3,000 feet. Again, I just think this squiggly line and how it adjusts to try to catch up to it, I'm not sure if that's fully working yet. So we'll see how we do. We may have to deploy some speed brake. Alright, so we have a pretty good, between Twitch and YouTube, we have a pretty good audience tonight. Thank you again all for tuning in. I encourage you guys to follow if you haven't yet. I will be flying across the pond next Saturday, which will be a really fun event. It will be myself plus 1,000 other pilots and ATC. They'll be online for a duration of about 12 hours as we all cross the Atlantic from Europe to North America. I think it is the biggest VATSIM event of the year. They do it twice a year, and I'll be streaming it the whole time. And I'll also be using that to support Project Hope, where I'll be leveraging the Streamlabs streaming platform to encourage donations to Project Hope as they raise funds to help refugees of the Ukraine war. 100% of the proceeds goes to Project Hope, which is fantastic. And when I set up those streams, I'll share all the information you need to know if you want to get involved. But if you just want to tune in and hang out and keep me company while I spend 7 hours in my basement flying on a simulator, I would appreciate the company. That's coming up Saturday, April 2nd, and if you give me a follow, you'll get the notification. Alright, getting some pretty cool views. So much white. White livery, white landscape, white clouds, blue ocean. Nice, Cass. Well, I hope you don't have to work on a Saturday. Yeah, I think I'll be getting online probably around 6:30 Eastern time. That'll be like 10:30 Zulu. And we'll probably get to Boston, give or take, I guess what, 16:30 Zulu? Oh, nice. I could be ignorant and say, oh, freelance, you make your own schedule, but I'm sure that's absolutely not true. Alright, so, okay, so that magenta dot I think is predicting when we cross 10,000 feet, and we'll slow down to 250 knot speed restriction. I'm starting to get mildly concerned we're not going to get to 3,000 in time. Because we seem to be chasing the squiggly line all the way down. And it looks like we're already flattening out. Maybe, is there a speed restriction below 14,000? Is it below transition level? Did I miss that? Sorry, that's the approach chart. Star. Transition level 140. I'm not seeing anything about speed. But we are flying the star. Okay. We'll get the approach chart on permanently now. Just in case we need it for reference. I think. There we go. I'm more interested in the vertical profile there. Yeah, VNAV descent. So we're going to get to Yote at 11 past. That's in 3 minutes. Yeah, we're still going to be way high. Okay, guys, I'm going to start deploying the speed brake. We're going slow enough. Because we need to get down faster. Yeah, I think I got a taste for the freelance life when I started working remotely during this whole pandemic. Because it became a lot harder to not work. And flight sim has actually been a way to force me to not work in a weird way. But I feel a little bit of that pain now. Yeah, I'm definitely high. Thanks, Ivan. Hopefully this will help. I hope we don't have to go misapproach. That would be really annoying. Alright, well at this point we should prep our approach. We are, oh god, we're really close. Shit, we're 23 miles away. So landing system. We're close enough to 10,000 feet. We'll get the landing lights on. Hopefully give us some more drag as well. And let's do our approach checklist here. So bow ref is set. Seatbelt signs have been on the whole time. Minimums are set. Auto brake, we're going to set that to low. So auto brake is set, engine mode is set to normal, and approach checklist is complete. Come on. Now we're doing 2,000 feet a minute. Get to Yote in 2 minutes. This is better. How much time between Yote and the final approach fix do we have? 6 miles. Oh. Oh god, hold on to your butts. Dangers of VNAV. And Ivan, where are you at the moment? Because I'm not picking you up on TCAS. You just might not be in range. Alright, we're picking up the ILS now, 19 miles away. My hunch is, oh, my 7 o'clock, hold on. So you're behind me? Alright, sorry guys, I'm just going to concentrate here. Alright, I'm going to activate the approach phase now. I'm also going to arm the approach. Autopilot 2. And if we can't cross Yode at 3,000 feet, then we'll probably have to go missed. So you guys may get a longer stream out of me, whether you like it or not. So it looks like the normal way of calculating top of descent with VNAV in play doesn't work anymore. The VNAV descent definitely seems to need more work. Alright, we're established on the localizer. Alright, now can we bleed this off? Can we actually intercept the glide slope in time? We get to Yode, 13 past, we have a minute. No, we're not going to get there. We're going to get close though. Come on. Speed checks flaps 1. Let's just keep slowing down. Come on. Speed check flaps 2. And I think we might still be able to catch it. Sapporo traffic, Japan Air 9084 on 10-mile final ILS runway 1 right, Sapporo traffic. Gear, thank you. Gear for more drag, let's do this. Oh, the honeycomb by far. Cass, by the way, I use the Thrustmaster only for the tiller when I'm on the ground to steer the nose wheel. It's the only reason why it's on my desk. Otherwise, I hate this thing. Alright, I'm not going to go to flaps 3 until we intercept the glide slope if we can. But thankfully this is a flaps 3 landing, apparently. I got sight of the runway. ILS runway 1 right. Oh, this is a VNAV as provided by the fly-by-wire A320 mod. And VNAV is a new addition to their experimental build, which comes with a bunch of bugs, but also comes with the latest features. So this is a completely custom aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It is not a mod of the stock one. It is just a completely separate modeled airplane, and it's free to download. Fly-by-wire A320. Oh my god. It's leveling off. Do not level off. We need to intercept that glide slope. Come on. Shit. We're very likely going missed approach, everyone. We'll get to practice missed approaches. Now let's quickly brief what the missed approach is, right? We have to go to that VOR. Climb to 600 feet, turn right, inbound via... Okay, that's easy. We'll just go back to 3,000 feet, which is the altitude we need to be at anyway.
2,500.
Radio altimeter is alive. Yeah, it's free. Alright guys, if you guys are just tuning in and you're tuning in for the first time, I am not a terrible pilot. VNAV has just failed us in the experimental build, as good as it is. But we are not going to catch this glide slope. Although the sight picture, it kind of has me... it looks like we're going to hit just past the numbers. We're still not configured.
1,000.
Alright. I'm going to take it to minimums and then go toga.
$500.
Too low. Terrain. Too low.
Alright, let's go toga. Flap
Don't
2.
Alright, Lieutenants, please prepare for landing.
Don't sink. 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 Don't sink.
And did it go to go around mode? It is going to go around mode. Perfect. Gear up. Yeah, Mode Daddy, I probably could have made it, but again, we're going for realism, and I think in the real world that would have definitely been a go around. Our autopilot's all messed up though. So let's go to flight plan. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Next phase. Approach. Alright, well we gotta go to Mike Kilo Echo. And we'll hold there. Yeah, improvising. So we're going to Mike Kilo Echo. This is the misapproach procedure, so we are flying it correctly. Click on that. We're going to hold. It's anticipating a right turn hold, and is that correct? It's actually a left hold. But how is the make-do modeling it? Does it matter? It doesn't matter. Oh, because the course is wrong. The course is wrong. The inbound course is 280. And you are making left-hand turns. So how does that look now? Yep, there you go. That looks correct. Insert. So our hold is programmed. So now we don't need to worry about the autopilot, and now we can reprogram our approach. So we're still going to do the ILS right Yankee. Still going to do the Yote South. No vias. Insert. That didn't seem to work at all. Oh, jeez. So I guess go-arounds are still a work in progress in the mod as well. Oh, and there, look, Ivan's on the TCAS. There he is. He's at our 12 o'clock. Looking out for your lights, but I guess against the white, it's hard to see you. Oh, you're 10 miles out. But I got you on my screen, man. Alright. Oh yeah, we have more time, Mode Daddy. Yeah, so if the clean uninstall and reinstall is not working for you, that indicates to me that you're not actually achieving a full clean install. So I would maybe Google online if there are any manual steps to take to truly do a clean removal of all elements of Microsoft Flight Simulator from your system. Because my guess, if an uninstall and reinstall is still not working for you, there are things being left behind that are causing issues. So if I clear this, maybe let me program in a different ILS and see if that does it. And then we'll program the one that we want. Yeah. Oh, well now that is the one we want. Hold on, flight plan. Alright, because that's the Zulu. Hold on, so we want the Yankee. Probably should.
Support traffic, November A965 on 6 miles final, 1 left, support traffic.
Ivan, I just heard your voice. Okay, so this is bad. We still want to go direct to Mike.
Good flight, and good landing.
Thank you, sir. Good to hear your voice, Alvin. Good flight. Okay. So apologies for that. I was getting a bit ahead of myself.
Make it a butter.
Let's get to that hold point, and then we'll make our turn for the ILS. How are we doing on fuel, everyone? Gotta watch that fuel. Fuel prediction page is also busted, probably because of the go around. Why are we not going to Mike? Come on. I'm going to force the overfly. Sorry, return, overfly, Mike. Still forcing me to turn. Sorry guys, this is a bit of a shit show. Well, let me do that. Nope. Alright, now, okay. Alright, you know what? This is ridiculous. Instead of fighting this, I'm just going to go into heading mode. I'm just going to do my own outbound. And then we'll loop around to intercept the initial approach fix when we're ready to. So we'll do like a downwind. So runway 1, let's say around 180 degrees, that will be downwind enough. Alright. Now we are free to properly program the McDo here. So I'm going to clear this waypoint. We're done with Mike. And let's get that Yankee loaded up. And we got rid of TP. I don't know what that is. And then we'll just intercept the ILS. Boom. Problem solved. Problem solved. We're flying with flaps 1, that's fine. Still the speed brake, that's causing unnecessary drag, we'll retract that. Alright, and at 20 miles, we'll turn base. And then we'll go direct to Yote. And there's some ships frozen in the water there. That is a shame. That's rough. They're having a worse day than us. Thank you, Cass. Appreciate it. Do appreciate it.
Support traffic, November A965, clear the runway. Support traffic.
Nice. Alright, let's get to 225. I guess 235 would be, because one right. Is that right? Can't do my maths right now. Oh, 90 plus 90, not plus 45. Alright, so now let's intercept Yote. Actually, we can just go back into manage heading mode. And activate the approach again. Oh, actually, hold on. I think we have to activate the approach phase again. And now activate the... Oh, what? Why can't I activate the approach? There we go. Cat 3 dual, Loke Star, glide slope is armed. Loke. Things are looking good. Just wanted that glide slope to come in. There's the glide slope. Thank God. Okay. Alright, let's get our bearings for this approach. Get our landing checklist ready. Oh, it's just ECAM memo landing no blue. That's easy. Alright. Speed check flaps 2. Gear down. Spoilers armed. Why can't I change those lights? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. There we go. Alright. Always nice to intercept the glide slope from underneath. Much better position. Sapporo traffic, Japan Air 9084 on 10-mile final for the ILS runway 1 right. Sapporo traffic. Glide slope star. And glide slope. Guys, we are fully locked on, fully established on this ILS. After a cluster of an initial approach. For those who've stuck around, thank you. Because I'm mildly annoyed we had to do that, but... Again, if we're going for realism, missed approach was absolutely the right call. But now I need to make up for it by buttering this landing.
2,500.
We don't have our landing checklist yet. Speed check flaps 3. Visual on the runway. We're doing the right one. I always have to remind myself in the parallel runway approaches. Alright, cabin check. ECAM memo landing no blue. So landing checklist is complete. This is definitely a shorter checklist than what I usually use, but I still like the integration. It's really nice. So all we need to do is land this thing. So we've got a bit of a tailwind now. Visual and fake pilot. Are you watching, Ivan, from the ground? I'll be looking for you. Are you on stand? And thanks for waiting around. I know you've been on the ground for about like 10 minutes at this point. Alright, so we're doing a flap 3 landing. So the sight picture will be a bit different. Our approach speed will be a bit higher. Need a bit more runway to roll out. We'll see how we do.
1,000.
1,000. Like it feels like we're more nose down, and it's kind of like concerning because I'm expecting to go into the trees, but if I'm fixing on a static point in the runway, we are tracking for just beyond the numbers. All right, the tailwind became a headwind real quick.
$500.
Yeah, 500. Autopilot coming off.
500.
Feels like we're flat on the approach, but
400. 100 above. 100 above. Minimum.
continue.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on!
5.
Reverse green, decel. I think that was good. I think that was a good landing. 70 knots, rolling out. We'll get the next exit. Disengage the brakes. Thanks, Ivan. I needed a win tonight. How was that vertical speed on landing? Did you guys catch that? I forget who asked me about the Thrustmaster, but you can see I'm using it now to control the nose wheel. It's the only reason why I use it. On straightaways, I still use the rudders. And Sapporo traffic, Japan Air 9084 is clear of runway 1 right, Sapporo traffic. Alright, let's come to a stop here. So Ivan, where can I find you? Are you at the stand, or where are you at? Alright, let's clean this up. Landing system flight director constraints all can come off. VORs can come off. Flaps coming all the way up. Spoilers disarmed. 8C to standby. TCAS to standby. At your 9 o'clock, random place. 9 o'clock is my left. I'm looking for a Diamond 40, but I can't see it. Maybe we'll see it on our way in. Alright, let's get the APU started. 1, 2, and 3. Get the landing lights off. I don't need the turn-off lights. Go to taxi lights. And after landing checklist, radar predictive wind shear system. That's the one thing I forgot to do, and that's why it's on the checklist, I guess. And mark item complete. Alright, let's go find a stand. Oh, you've got a white livery. Great. Yeah, all this snow, man. And we want taxi charts. Oop. Hard turn. just for fun, let's make sure no one is landing or taking off on this runway. Nice and clear. Alright, let's just go straight to the terminal. We'll just cross this taxiway and bang a right. Where is that plane? Oh, I see, I got some services over there, so we'll just go to that stand. Oh, there you are. I see you now. I see you now. Hey, there's our diamond friend. Good to see you, Ivan, in the sim for the first time. Yeah, I know, you could barely see it. You weren't kidding. Nice. Definitely next time on the 320. I think I'll start doing that from now on. I'll start the stream maybe like half an hour before I anticipate actually getting into the cockpit. To give you and other folks that follow an opportunity if you guys want to join in on these flights. Like, I would absolutely love the company. I think it'd be a lot of fun to fly in convoy on VATSIM. So if you guys are interested in doing group flights, definitely hit that follow button. And I'll try to be better about scheduling things. And honestly, if you guys have your own channels and you want to schedule your own flights, I'll try to come to yours. It would just be a lot of fun to do some more group flying on VATSIM. So that is my ask. I'm cheating here because I can't see these runway lines, these taxiway lines, with all the snow. Alright. Slow it up a bit. You want to come to the stand in under 5 knots and with no lights on, so you don't blind people and you don't kill people. That's the goal. Nope, don't blind, don't kill. Okay. Okay, tell me to stop. Tell me to stop. I can't see you anymore. And stop. Parking brakes on. Is the APU available? It is. Bleed is coming on. Engines are coming off. Seatbelt signs are off. And welcome to Sapporo. I had no idea there'd be snow on the ground, but fun regardless. Let's get this jetway attached. Ooh, we were low in fuel, eh? Jet bridge, power. Oh, and here comes our diamond. That's Ivan over there in the Diamond 40. Been scoping out Sapporo in VOR. Well, we made our way over here. And this is just a bit of a test to see if model matching is working. So I think that the livery is probably going to be generic, but it is that is a Diamond 40. That is what that looks like. So Ivan, I'm making you famous in our stream of 5 viewers. That's a gorgeous plane. I mean, that'd be fun to fly. Right? Am I right that is a Diamond? Yeah, DA40 right there in the tail. Nice. Actually, I'm going to get a photo. I'm going to come up over to you. Don't disconnect yet. I'm going to put this on my Instagram that I think it was Cass tried to get. That I don't have the command set up for. But it's Mike November Whiskey. It's the same handle. It's the same handle. And you know what I'm going to do? If I can zoom, you do like a really cool effect. If I get back, but I zoom in, it kind of creates a pretty cool scale effect. Right? This is photography 101. How's that for a photo, huh? Beautiful. All right. Now let's finish up our checklists. Yeah, that is... I like that one. All right. So, parking brakes on, engines are off, wing lights are off, fuel pumps can come off now. Let's also hook up to external power, because that's available. And we'll assume folks have deplaned so we can get the APU shut down. Alright, now going to securing the aircraft. Let's go through our memory flows first, and then we can do the checklist. So we'll unlock the door so we can escape. ATC coming to standby finally. Start getting these lights down. Cass, is this your favorite part? Where I meticulously turn down all the screens? I got the engine time off. Still under 2 hours. This is supposed to be a quick flight, but that missed approach, man. It is almost 1 a.m. I have to wake up early for my kids' swim lessons. I do this to myself, though. Alright, ECAM comes down. And coming up above, oxygen can come off. Flap 3, IRSs can come off as well. So these are the things that I would want to be on the checklist, but are definitely not on the checklist yet. Like beacons should have come off at this point. Strobes come off. And we'll turn off nav and logo as well. No smoking signs, emergency exit lights, overhead integrated lights. That's all good. And then when that APU finally decides to shut down, it takes its sweet time. So oxygen is off, emergency exit lights are off, batteries, well, that hasn't come off yet. EFBs. There we go. APU is done. External power comes off. Batteries are off. And cold and dark. And that's it, friends. That is it. This is probably the last round the world flight for about a week and a half. As I mentioned, Tuesday we'll do a practice flight in preparation for Across the Pond. We'll be in the Heavy Division 787, flying out of Amsterdam to somewhere in the UK just for some practice and departure. Thursday we'll do arrival practice in Boston. We'll probably do it off VATSIM so we can just be free to make mistakes. And then Saturday, big event, week from today, Across the Pond. With 1,000 other pilots. Should be a good time. So hope to see all of you there. And Ivan, again, thanks again for the co-flight. It was really great to see you. Yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. This is Mike November Whiskey saying goodnight.